Ishabon and Gurun in the house, back with another bang on episode. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk to you about all the Arsenal news. It's going to be something really important because we're going to discuss about Yves Bissouma. We're going to talk about a lot of new players being linked with Arsenal as well. So, without any further ado, let's just jump into the first news that we have here. And if you seek daily Arsenal content, guys, best place to be. Why do you even have to think twice, man? Let's go for it. Subscribe and hit that bell icon. By the way, let's go for it. So, FIFA's decision that can actually affect Arsenal if Edu is actually trying to seal the deal for Thomas Partey's midfield partner in Yves Bissouma. So, latest Arsenal news is actually Wood might get affected by Africa Cup of Nations. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Yves Bissouma, we all know, has been attracting interest from Arsenal. Now, according to a report by Express, Arsenal have been asked Arsenal have asked to keep them informed if there is a situation that arises that Yves Bissouma would want. Interesting. Arsenal and former Arsenal striker Kevin Campbell believes Bissouma would be perfect for Thomas Partey's partnership. He says, "I think Thomas Partey needs a partner in the midfield with energy, and I think that Bissouma would fit that bill perfectly." Now, however, Arsenal, if they manage to sign Bissouma in the summer, they face losing him at some point in 2022. This is because next year's Africa Cup of Nations tournament has already moved back to its winter slot. The tournament was moved to the summer months following a decision by their executive committee in 2017, but after just one competition, it will now return to its original January-February format. Now, one of the reasons for the change is the temperature and weather both being more favorable in the opening 2 months of the year. Well, CAF's Deputy General Secretary Tani Bafo read from a statement says, "We have reviewed the period of the competition as requested by the Cameroonian party due to unfavorable climatic conditions during the period initially slated. After listening to the various arguments and viewpoints, and in particular from the Cameroonian meteorological authorities, the coaches and players, the representatives of the AFCON organizing committee, they believe that they have granted this request." So that would mean even if we sign him, he would actually go on to play for AFCON for Mali. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, because Mali have booked their tickets. So it's not going to be easy. We're going to lose him at some point of time, just how we're going to lose Gabriel Martinelli, Thomas Partey, Nico Pepe, and of course the others. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. No, I don't think so they qualify, but okay. Moving on, so why West Ham's free kick versus Arsenal was allowed, but Brighton's was not in West Brom clash. Now Jesse Lingard took a quick free kick, Bowen slotted it in. So former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher says West Ham's goal against Arsenal from a quick free kick rightly stood, but Brighton's one against West Brom is a different story. Referee Lee Mason initially disallowed Lewis Dunk's quickly taken free kick, then allowed it and then overturned it after a VAR review in Albion's 1-0 loss at the Hawthorns last month. That was despite the Seagulls skipper being granted the chance to take a quick free kick by the official, but just as his strike curled past Sam Johnstone, Mason blew his whistle just before the ball entered the goal. Brighton fans were left scratching their heads as to what happened. I mean, why was the goal against of West Ham was given? So supporters said that this was an example of inconsistent refereeing between Jonathan Moss, Gallagher. Now, he said in his ref watch column for Sky Sports, he said the players obviously want to take it quick, and as I said at the time of the West Brom incident, if the players want a ceremonial free kick, the referee is going to take control of it and delay that situation. He is going to want to have everything in order before he restarts. If a player wants to take a quick free kick, yes, you can go quickly, but bear in mind that if that ball strikes one of those Arsenal defenders and then goes out for a throw-in, don't come saying they are not 10 yards because you had taken that opportunity. And Lingard saw that opportunity. He has obviously said quickly to the referee, "Can I go?" The referee is happy that he can go in those circumstances, and it has resulted in a goal. And there was nothing wrong with what they did. That's the whole situation. Why that stood? No, whatever. Moving on. So Arsenal's summer transfer plans hinges on Stan Kroenke's changing policy. Now, the problem is that Arsenal fans are hoping for a big summer spending spree, but it'll be difficult. Okay, why? Let's see. So, as football finance expert Kieran Maguire explains, the critical thing in terms of the ability to spend will be Europe, because the value of the Champions League is somewhere between 40 to 100 million pounds in terms of broadcast revenue, plus the potential of ticket sales on top of that. And 120 million Bank of England loan secured in early January complicates matters further. They are precluded from using those funds to attain new assets, and according to Maguire, the bank could even ask for repayments, which are low interest, to be spread up should they see the club spending heavily on new talent. That is before considering the optics. Kroenke could pump in some of his own money to be used on new signings, but there are also limitations to what is allowed under financial fair play rules, and it is not something he has a habit of doing. Maguire says, you can put in as much money as you want as an investor, but in terms of UEFA rules, they limit owners' investment to 25 million euros over a 3-year period. For Premier League, you can lose 15 million pounds, but that is topped up to 105 million over a 3-year period. So there can be a 90 million pound owner investment. Will Stan Kroenke make it? I do not even know. I really don't. Moving on, so Granit Xhaka has opened up about his criticisms that he actually is getting, and he believes that Arsenal find themselves in a far better place after a miserable start to the season. But he believes that the barrage of insults that come to him is quite not justified. He says, this has been an up and down season for Arsenal. We began well but then failed to pick up points in a string of games. Things are clearly better once more, with our win over Tottenham and reaching the Europa League quarterfinals in style. In the Premier League, we are once again a long way off the European places. We'll need to quite a run to get in on the act, so it will obviously be vital for us to reach. And talking about the heavy criticism, he says, there are other players who get red cards, but they don't get criticized as much as I do. That doesn't ruin me, I can handle it, and this time I came back even stronger, which many people did not expect. He's right in a way, He really is right in a way. Well, moving on, so it looks like there's a big gap between Arsenal and Tottenham in terms of the amount. It's £256.1 million gap that will concern Arsenal fans. Now, Arsenal fans will be concerned that there is stark differences in their finances compared to Tottenham. Well, we all know why. But according to a latest study by Visible, which shows a sizable gap between Arsenal's finances and those of Tottenham, the report shows that between 2016 to 2020, Arsenal lost £199.13 million, the sixth most across the Premier League. That compares to a healthy profit made by Tottenham worth £57.02 million. Though those figures may not include some of the costs relating to the new stadium, but still, that's a very significant difference. Everton made the second biggest loss, raking up a deficit of £292.23 million, with only Liverpool, Burnley and West Brom making a profit aside from Tottenham. So, talking about this, I think if you're an Arsenal fan, you might feel bad about it, but trust me, yeah, in the long run, you shouldn't actually. But moving on, well, I don't know how many of you actually, saw it, but Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang did something special with his captain's armband after Mikel Arteta decision up. He did not enjoy the best of times against West Ham United previously, but he was actually, made sure that he actually Alexander Lacazette headed home that equalizer. But Lacazette's goal came in at a time when Aubameyang was already off the pitch. But given the new ruling that the player must go off at the nearest exit instead of coming to the touchline, the pair, along with Gabriel Martinelli and Nico Pepe, that's what happened. But Mikel Arteta made a bold decision, yet many would argue correct, decision to withdraw arguably his main and most trusted source of goals, and in now doing so, he withdrew his captain, which meant the armband had to be passed on. Now, there is an image which says that he passed his armband to you know who? To damn Callum Chambers. Callum Chambers had he actually took the possession of the armband. There was David Luiz, there was Lacazette, but he gave it to Callum Chambers. How crazy is that? Not only Chambers finished the game as Arsenal captain, he was named the Sky Sports Man of the match. I mean, good, but yeah, I think, wow, that's crazy to give Callum Chambers. I don't know if you guys watched it. Callum Chambers was the captain when Aubameyang left the pitch. Moving on, so according to Eurosport, they believe Arsenal are exploring a second loan deal for Martin Odegaard already. Gunners keen for another deal with Blancos. Arsenal are asking questions of whether Real Madrid would be willing to sanction a second loan switch for Odegaard, which is being claimed by Eurosport. The Norwegian midfielder has impressed at the Emirates Stadium, and Mikel Arteta is eager to keep him around for the 2021-2022 campaign. So it looks like Martin Odegaard is really in the mix to be signing for Arsenal for another loan deal, ladies and gentlemen, and Arsenal are very much keen. We all know the relationship, and it's going to be another loan deal, if not a permanent one. At least Martin Odegaard for another season at Arsenal. well, it's about to happen. So with this, we end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you seek daily Arsenal content, best place to be. Consider subscribing. I will see you in the next one. Cheers.